Another international disgrace for Nigeria, as Minister of Solid Minerals Dele Alake and his team who represent Nigeria at the mining summit in South Africa brought total disgrace on the country. A man who revealed what reportedly happened at the event attended by the Federal Minister of Solid Minerals in South Africa. He said the Federal Minister of Solid Minerals and his entourage really embarrassed Nigeria at the mining summit in South Africa. In a time where we are looking for investment in the country, these guys went there to play as they were nowhere to be found at the summit. He sent pictures of what our minister set up to woo investors compared to other countries. It was alleged that what he spent for this particular project was worth millions of naira, taken from the 24 billion naira budget for his ministry. From the look of things, one would wonder if this is the best Nigeria can produce. This shambolic act by the minister reiterates the kind of persons we have in the APC government. When we say Nigerians are giving Nigeria a bad name, this is a perfect example, and it is coming from a government ministry. This outlook would make you wonder if the minister really has any intention other than to loot the resources in that ministry. I mean, what is this? Because what explanation can be given for this? If it were Nigeria, they would censor the media or pay some bloggers and media organizations to make bogus reports using propaganda. And if anyone reports otherwise, they will come after the person. This is what they have been doing for years. They cover stories, they make you report what they want you to report. Thank God this is South Africa and you cannot censor the media on this. This is why we are having this kind of report from that place. If it were to be Nigeria, believe you me, some of these things would have been hidden. They will give a different explanation, different from what transpired at the event. But thank God we are having clear pictures comparing with countries like Botswana, Sierra Leone, and Angola. And look at the Nigerian booth. And is there anything that we can say about this APC government and especially the Minister of Solid Minerals, Dele Alake? Somebody says he's not supposed to be in that ministry. Probably the Minister of Information should be the post that President Bola Tinubu should have put him. But see what is happening now. Does it mean that we cannot do better as a country? What will other countries say about us, despite the fact that we have so much mineral resources that would amount to trillions of naira? What would other countries say about us? What image are we giving to the international community? Would investors come and invest with this kind of project that we are putting out to the world? Would anybody take Nigeria serious? When Nigerians complain, they will say, pray for the country. Should we pray for leaders like this that are bent on dragging Nigeria on the mud? Should we pray for people that will embarrass the country, both locally and internationally? Should we continue to pray for a country that its leaders have no vision? This is a clear example that leaders these leaders have no vision. They are confused on what to do, and it is high time Nigerians do the needful. In another news, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has merged the EFCC, ICPC, and the Code of Conduct Bureau with other agencies in a move to cut the cost of governance. In a very bold move today, the administration of Bola Ahmed Tinubu has taken a decision to implement the so-called Orosanye report. Now, what that means is that a number of agencies, commissions, and some departments have been scrapped. Some have been merged, while others have been subsumed. Others, of course, have also been moved from some ministries to others where government feels they will operate better. The Pension Transition Arrangement Directorate has been scrapped. The National Senior Secondary School Education Commission is also being looked at with the aim to modify some of its processes, and the final decision on that will be taken, he explained. Idris said the goal of Monday's move is to fine-tune and to restructure government operations as a whole and to reduce the cost of governance because some of these agencies are performing very similar functions. So government thought it wise that there is the need, since this committee has already been set up, white paper already been produced to take a bold decision to visit that. However, he allayed fears of massive job losses, saying employees will find accommodation within the new structure. It is important to note that the fact that the Orosanye report has been approved and adopted by council today does not mean that people will lose their jobs. All those who are employed, whether they have been moved, subsumed, or scrapped, will find accommodation with that within relevant government agencies. Nobody is going to lose his job as a result of that, he added. In a May 7th, 23 report, weeks before President Tinubu took the oath of office, sources told reporters that the incoming president would merge some ministries and agencies of the federal government as recommended by the Orosanye panel and would take tough decisions on other issues going by meetings with his core loyalists. It was gathered that Tinubu had been meeting with some of his trusted aides on steps to reposition the country and that one of them was to take a critical look at the Orosanye report. The president's special advisor on policy coordination, Hadiza Bala Usman, announced the agencies to be merged to include the National Agency for Control of HIV and AIDS to be merged with the Center for Disease Control in the Federal Ministry of Health. The National Emergency Management Agency is to be merged with the National Commission for Refugee Migration and Internally Displaced Persons. The Directorate of Technical Cooperation in Africa is to be merged with the Directorate of Technical Aid and to function as a department in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. The Infrastructure Concession Regulatory Commission will be merged with the Bureau for Public Enterprises, the Nigerian Investment Promotion Commission, to be integrated into the Nigerian Export Promotion Council, as the National Agency for Science and Engineering Infrastructure will now be one with the National Center for Agricultural Mechanization and Project Development Institute. Also, the National Biotechnology Development Agency will be amalgamated with the National Center for Genetic Resource and Biotechnology, the National Institute for Leather Science Technology with the National Institute for Chemical Technology, and the Nomadic Education Commission with the National Commission for Mass Literacy, Adult Education, and Non-Formal Education. The Federal Radio Corporation will be merged with the Voice of Nigeria. The National Commission for Museum and Monuments will be merged with the National Gallery of Arts, the National Theatre with the National Troupe of Nigeria, and the National Meteorological Development Center with the National Meteorological Training Institute. In a similar vein, the Nigerian Army University, Biu, Borno State, will now function as a faculty within the Nigerian Defense Academy, while the Air Force Institute of Technology will become a faculty of the Nigerian Defense Academy. Also, the federal government was advised to merge the nation's top three anti corruption agencies: the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC), the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission (ICPC), and the Code of Conduct Bureau (CBC). According to Bala Usman, the service compact with Nigeria, popularly known as Servicom, has been subsumed to function as a department under the Bureau of Public Service Reform. The Border Communities Development Agency becomes a department at the National Boundary Commission, while the National Salaries, Income and Wages Commission was subsumed into the Revenue, Mobilization and Fiscal Allocation Commission. The Institute for Peace and Conflict Resolution was subsumed under the Institute for International Affairs, the Public Complaints Commission under the National Human Rights Commission, the Nigerian Institute for Trypanosomiasis into the Institute for Veterinary Research, the National Medicine Development Agency under the National Institute for Pharmaceutical Research and Development, and the National Intelligence Agency Pension Commission under the Nigerian Pension Commission. He announced that the Niger Delta Power Holding Company has been relocated to the Ministry of Power, the National Agricultural Land Development Agency to the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security. The National Blood Service Commission has been converted into an agency and relocated to the Federal Ministry of Health, even as the Nigerian Diaspora Commission becomes an agency at the Federal Ministry of Finance. The presidential aide revealed that Tinubu constituted a committee to midwife the necessary restructuring and legislative amendments needed to ensure full actualization of the approvals granted.